IBM is not the only company with community trusts. And whilst each one of these trusts and companies are unique, the report is helping us to uncover, common themes that's arising out of all these trusts, and provide some recommendations to how we can improve the lives and livelihoods of our really grassroots and broad-based communities around our operations and businesses.
Looking at the best practice and recommendations, I've kind of thought about it in two buckets that are both very much interrelated. You can't have one without the other. And the first is around the building blocks and how you mitigate some of the really difficult risks. And it talks to issues around governance, trustees, investments, the management thereof, and just looking at the future and how you sustain these structures beyond the life of mine. And then very importantly as well is around the social impact and how you leverage structures to achieve social impact in a really sustainable and meaningful way. Because a lot of these trusts, particularly in the mining sector, exist within the legislative framework of the Trust Property Control Act, the Companies Act, the Mining and Petroleum Resources Development Act, Broad-Based Economic Empowerment Act, etc. And so it's really important for these community trust structures to understand, monitor and comply with a very broad range of regulations, because that also directly informs and relates to the trust structure and the governance thereof. And in our work with this report, we picked up that most of these trusts are registered as trusts. Some have NPCs or non-profit companies as vehicles, and some have a non-profit company and a trust as a vehicle. And usually there's also a shareholder in the founder companies. Just over a half have multiple trusts because of the different strategic focus areas, different community beneficiaries. And one of the trusts we looked at, particularly in the renewable energy independent power producer sector, has a legal requirement for more than one trust. Most also have at least one entity with a public benefit organization registration, which also comes with particular requirements in terms of reporting to SARS. Most trusts just have a board of trustees. Some have subcommittees. And then also not all trust deeds covered aspects of trustee accountability, such as issues related to term limits, suspension clauses, reporting requirements, etc. In terms of the best practice and the recommendations that are detailed in the report, the structure must support the strategy and the achievement of social impact. It's really important to streamline what is often a very complex structure of trusts in order to improve efficiencies, effectiveness, and governance. And community-level trusts can still be part of the structure, but with more coordination and oversight from the intermediaries that disperse the funds. And then obviously there's specific tax advice that is needed around particularly trusts that are linked to PBO requirements. And so it's a very complex area when we're thinking about community trusts in terms of the legislative and the governance frameworks that govern this. And it's important from the onset to ensure that the requirements are understood and that there's compliance with it.